Welcome back, guys. I'm going to do a video on reading this tooltip when hovering over the enemy. I have done one of these before, but I don't know if it's outdated, so I'll just do a new one now. So obviously you've got the colours on the ship, which are either green, red or orange. So green is likely to penetrate, red is impossible to penetrate, and orange is a chance of penetrating. So underneath this you have penetration. Now this is a percentage of all of the different compartments on the enemy ship. So it's going to be 50% belt and 50% deck as far as I'm aware. It possibly includes the superstructure as well. But I know it's practically 50-50 for the deck and the belt. So it might be 40-40-20 or something like that. But this is why this particular stat is very rarely at 100%, because if you're in range to pen the belt, you're probably not at the correct range to pen the deck. You can do it, but it's very difficult. Okay, so underneath this, you have pen VH. So the VH is vertical and horizontal. Unfortunately, they've got the V and the H the wrong way round, so it's a bit confusing. The vertical is actually the number on the right, and the horizontal is the number on the left, so they just swapped the wrong way round, unfortunately. So this will show you the exact pen that you've got on the enemy, including the angle that the shot is coming in at. Now, fourth down, it says side/deck, and then there's a percentage, and then there's a number which is the angle. So the pen VH includes the number which is the angle. So at the moment we've got 9-degree angle. So the pen VH is including the 9-degree angle into the calculation. So if we have a look, at the moment it's 104 and 4.7. So it's 4.7 for the deck, and we're at 5 kilometers. Now, if we have a look at the UI on our gun, oh, that's one thing I'll mention. If you've got two different caliber guns, this tooltip shows you for the highest caliber gun that you've got. So this is showing you what our 18-inch stats are. So it doesn't show you an average or any of your other smaller caliber guns. It only shows you the largest caliber gun. So if we have a look at our 18-inch gun, at 5 kilometers it says we have a 29.1 inch pen to the deck. 29.1. Where if we hover over the enemy it's only 4.7. That's because this stat on the gun itself does not factor in the angle of the shot. So it'd be 29.1 if the angle was 90 degrees dropping straight on top of the enemy. But it's not 90 degrees dropping straight on top, so it's not 29.1. It's 9 degrees, and so the correct amount is only 4.7. So what may appear as if we've got plenty of pen, actually we've got nowhere near enough pen to go through the deck. So same with the stat for the side, the belt, it says 104.7, where on here it says 117. That's because the ship is not completely sideways onto us, it's at a little bit of an angle. So the side and the deck factor in the angle of the ship that you're aiming at. So if you want to see the exact amount of pen against the target, hover over the target and you'll see pen VH will tell you the exact pen amount. So underneath that you have the armor. Now unfortunately this number is not exact. I think what it's trying to do is factor in the quality of plus 110. So plus 110 on the main belt is 27.2 plus 1.3, 28.5. So it's 28.5 and it says 27.6. So it's close, but it's not quite perfect. Now it might be taking into account some other things, like the side of the turrets, which is 13.1, which would be a closer amount. So the average of that would be 13.3. So that would be 26.6 plus 13. So yeah, that's a lot closer, but still it's not perfect. So the armour, it's better off if you just calculate it yourself on here. Oops. Interesting. Maybe I need to unpause. There we go. Underneath this we have side and deck. So if it's 64%, that means it's 64% chance to hit the side. And then obviously you minus that from 100 to get the deck chance to hit. So it's 64% chance to hit the side, 36% chance to hit the deck. Then underneath this you have the ricochet, which is the angle of the belt. So the one above it, 9 degrees, that is the angle of the deck, and then the one below, 25 degrees, is the angle of the belt. So if we advance time, I'm actually going in reverse at the moment. I was not in the right angle to go forward, so we are going backwards. So as you can see, the chance on the side and deck is reducing, which means it's getting less chance to hit the belt, more chance to hit the deck. The angle is increasing, because the further away you get, obviously the higher you need to aim. So we're now going up to 13 degrees with a 45% chance to hit the deck. Now what you'll find is as the angle of the shot gets a high enough degree, this stat on here will start to line up with the correct amount of what the stat is when aiming at the ship. So I'll just advance time a little bit until we get to a higher degree. Okay, so we're now at a 45-degree angle with the ship. That's with the deck of the ship. And the pen chance, or the pen depth, sorry, is 61.4 at 23.2 kilometers. So 61.4 at 23.2. So let's have a look at what our 25 kilometer is. 97.1. So it's still 30 inches less than what it's showing you on the tooltip. So even at a 45-degree angle, you're still having a considerably less pen depth than what it actually shows you on the tooltip. Now, if you want to pen the deck, the best thing to do is to take heavier shells. So what this will do is it'll lower your shell muzzle velocity, and that is the thing that makes it have a higher trajectory. So there are other things that have muzzle velocity, like this AP shells. You can reduce that down. Some of these have muzzle velocity reduction, so like picric acid, and these also have muzzle velocity as well. So that's got -7, that's got +2.5. So if you want to go for the belt, go for triple base. If you want to go for the deck, go for tube powder. And then obviously the barrel length is another way to reduce the muzzle velocity. Okay, so if we have a look now, we've got a 36.6 inch pen to the deck. Now it does say that the deck armor is 30.5, but if we have a look at the stats on his actual ship, it's 15 plus 110%, so it's actually 31.5. So it's 1 inch out, unfortunately. So 31.5 is what we need, and we've got a 36.6. So at this range, 14 kilometers, we should be able to pen the deck. So let's give it a go. Unfortunately, the accuracy is pretty bad, so it's going to take a couple of salvos. So as long as we're above 32, we should be fine. And there we go. We've just landed a shot, and it penetrated the main deck. So always read the tooltip above the enemy ship, and don't go off what your stats say on the gun down here. Okay, well, I hope that's been helpful. Cheers for watching, take care, I shall see you soon.